There are 10 criteria that Sotheby's specialists consider when assigning prices to art, jewelry, wine, watches, and more. This is how we determine the value of art.
There's a lot to be said about certain subject matter.
Certain subjects are more appealing than others.
There are some subjects which are always popular.
Fundamentally pleasing images, nudes being one of them, a bright landscape, something with the color red in it, historically sells better.
The Chinese love peaches because peaches means long life. Or you have certain fruit with lots of seeds, it means children.
There's nothing that will trump the dragon design. It's a symbol of the emperor, symbol of power. It looks good.
Beauty is always in the eye of the beholder, and the beholder usually finds a beautiful female sitter more attractive than the male sitter.
An Elizabethan portrait, that's always popular because these are easy images, one can relate to them.
Whenever I've had conversations with people in my life who just don't like contemporary art, what they really are saying is they just don't like the subject matter of contemporary art.
The beginning of what we consider to be the contemporary era is abstract expressionism, essentially. So subject matter is inherently moot to that, to that genre and sort of specifically to be avoided.
We're not talking about the French salon where you can go, oh yes, it's history painting first, and then you have landscapes, and then you have still life. It's about the paint itself. It's about the stretcher, it's about your interaction with the object.
Perhaps Roscoe is a good example. If you look at a painting that is just black rectangles on top of a black background, you know, in reproduction it looks like very little. You wouldn't necessarily say that that is a very commercial picture, but you stand in front of that picture and it's entirely captivating and really brings you to a standstill. One of the great things about contemporary art is its capacity to challenge. The great contemporary art collectors embrace that challenge.
Beauty is a really interesting topic because it's not always the most easy subjects which sell the best. We come across artists who are really complex, such as Sir Stanley Spencer, where sometimes his compositions are actually really hard to look at. They can be quite challenging, but yet it's that very challenging composition which makes them even more attractive.
You can identify when the notionally challenging isn't actually an arbitrary impediment to value. A number of the greatest artworks of the last 60 or 70 years provide the most fantastic and in some cases transformative experiences because they're challenging.
With a huge amount of Catholic art in the Old Master Paintings field, subject matter doesn't necessarily always speak to our audiences today. I think you need to put yourself into the mindset of somebody looking at it 300-400 years ago and think, what was the artist trying to convey? He's had to paint a subject that has been painted over and over and over again, make it his own, obeying the regulations that have been set down by their patron, by the church, and how they're allowed to convey these messages. I think if you look at it within the right framework, it's not off-putting. Let's say Hieronymus Bosch. The best subject matter for him would be A Temptation of St. Anthony. St. Anthony gives the excuse to have all these crazy monsters and weird visions and strange little animals crawling out of shells that are half human, half devil. That's always going to sell because that painting means something to someone.